There's really cool trails up on this north side and then on the south side. Years ago, we actually had a mountain lion that was stalking us as we were snowshoeing just on the other side of the pass here. So this is kind of the pass itself right here. They do have a gate that they'll put down if there is real bad inclement weather. Years ago, my brother on Christmas got stuck on the Denver side of the pass, and he was stuck there for several hours before they opened it. It appears, you know, it gets real steep here as you're coming on this side of the pass. So now we're on the western side of the pass. There's another great stop out there. That's a great place to do some snowshoeing. And then you're coming down here, and this is the South Park, or the beginning, I guess, of the South Park Valley. Or at least I know it that way. Is that Jefferson, the town of Jefferson, is down there to the straight ahead. And, you know, as you're coming down through here, you just want to watch your speed. You can, you know, a lot of people want to take it like it's NASCAR, but it's just, you know, take your time. You don't want to go too fast going downhill. You don't want to worry too much about speed going uphill. If people need to pass, they'll pass. Denver drivers in general are very impatient people, so they're going to want to get around you. Let them get around you. That's their problem. You need to take it, you know, comfortably. As you're getting down here, you can see as it starts to wrap around, this is where the winds really start to pick up. And I would describe, you know, this valley in particular is incredibly windy, especially in the winter. And it's gusty, so you want to keep both hands on the wheel as you're getting down into this valley, because the gusts just come out of nowhere. And if you're driving a big rig like we have, you're going to be dealing with a pretty good amount of sail effect from the rig itself, and you know, it really can take you by surprise. I've been caught by surprise in the past too. In the winter, or even in the, honestly, because there's so much snow up here, you're about 10,000 feet up here already. Not quite. You're probably, you know, 8 to 9 in this area, but you know, as you're up at this altitude, you're going to get some ground blizzards, and that's that gusty wind. And so you could be coming down here on a sunny day, and you've had clear roads all the way up from Denver, and you know, it could be March. I've, you know, had one of the worst snowstorms I ever drove through was in the end of March. I've had snowstorms in early part of June and end of May for sure, and then you can get them as early as, you know, late September, early October. But as you're coming through here, if that wind picks up, you get that ground blizzard. You want to just be extremely cautious. We've had some of the times the troopers will actually shut down the road, which is to everybody's benefit, but you get into it and you just can't see more than 5-10 feet ahead of you. So if somebody has a problem or stops, you're really in tough shape. You also don't want to completely stop, because there's just no shoulder on this road in this area. Back there at the Kenosha Pass, there's actually a pretty good shoulder most of the way, but down here there's just no good shoulder, and people take it fast, so you just want to watch yourself. This is an access, this County Road 56 to the National Forest. In that area is it's a gorgeous area for fly fishing, and it's very pretty. We love all the old farms. You often will see big herds of elk coming through here, particularly during the rut. And I mean, massive herds, you know, like we've seen them sometimes, I swear they're about 200 in the herd. So it's just a beautiful valley. We'll hit the Red Hills Pass up here in a moment. This is up here on the left is Red Hills Pass. We're still kind of in the South Park region. You know, the park is an area, at least in Colorado, where it's an open space like this surrounded by mountains and trees. So Estes Park is, you know, if anybody's looked at it on a map or whatever, it's a sunken area, and then it's surrounded by trees and mountains. But this is a South Park area, and as you're coming up here, this Red Hills Pass doesn't look like as much as Kenosha Pass was, and it's easy to overlook it. Of all the driving I've done in Colorado, this particular pass has the potential to be one of the deadliest. And I don't know what the statistics show, but what's unique about this pass is at the very top, you're going to be surrounded by really makes it so that in the winter or in the snow season, as I mentioned before, which could be as late as May and as early as late September, October, it can be incredibly icy because it just doesn't get much for sun. And that makes it, potentially very treacherous. It's only treacherous for like a quarter of a mile, if that, maybe a half mile. I'll show you the area to watch yourself in, but in general, the ascent to this pass is actually quite beautiful. You look back on the valley that we just came up from, and as you're coming over top of it, going back down the mountain from Jefferson, you're really seeing some beautiful area. So I'm downshifting here. My speedometer, the way I can kind of tell that I need to downshift is my speedometer starts to stall. So I'm looking at my speedometer saying, okay, yeah, I'm starting to stall out there. I can kind of feel the power back off, and then I just sort of downshift the rig.
A newbie with the temp plates doesn't know what he's coming into.
Well, and you can get away with some mistakes this time of year. It's not the end of the world, but if it's an off season and it's icy, boy, I gotta tell you.
How many cars have we seen over that edge? Just dozens over the years.
Over there, I think they even have some down there that are like, pretty older cars that they never even couldn't really get out, or they didn't pay to get them towed up or whatever. But we've actually spun out partially on this pass many years ago.
With a car.
With a car, yeah, not with a rig. But it's just something to watch out for. We also got some rock slides here on this side. Want to be cautious with. One of the things about pass driving is just never be in a rush. There's just no reason to be in a rush. Somebody's got a problem with the way you're driving, let them go around. That's their problem, not yours. So here's where it starts to get interesting. So this right lane will end, and we're going to narrow. And you'll start to see here how there's rock on either end, either side. So now you're coming up, and it's right up here. This portion right up here, as you make a hard left turn as you're headed west, right in this area, right in here, from here over. And this area just gets no sunlight in the off season, and it's very easy to lose control right back there. Like I say, and now you're through it, and it's over, and it's back to pretty much baseline. But that little section there can be really, really gnarly. So watch it.
And there's Fairplay out in the distance. So that's where we are in terms of location.
Yeah, this is Fairplay. Hartzell would be off to the left here, kind of a ways. This is an alternative to get up to Breckenridge, and it's a